Like, don't.
And here's the thing: people will tell you how they feel without having to tell you how they feel.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, let's say like this: like I message you on Instagram or whatever. I message somebody or on Facebook, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Phone number, even texting, right?
Yeah.
Like if I tell you I'm interested in doing this, and you're like, even if you're like, yeah, but then like for some reason or another, it just ends up happening. That's it. I might try maybe twice, maybe 3 times, depending on the circumstances. I might be like, yo, like if you're still up for it, blah, 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 this and that, whatever, right? But like, if it doesn't happen, I got the hint.
Yeah.
I got the hint.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that includes like text messages, DMs, like even in person. Like if I tell you in person, like it's real easy. You don't actually have to actually tell me, hey, I'm not interested in you. You already told me with the way that you're acting with me. Because if you were interested in me past a certain point, you would make it a point to either go out of your way to say, hey, my bad, this is what's going on today, blah, 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 blah. Like it's not gonna be able to work. Let's reschedule for this day specifically. All right. Now you're showing initiative. Yeah. Like it means that you feel bad about the fact that this isn't happening and we're gonna try to recoup
make something
or whatever.
happen out of it.
Yeah. But if not, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you don't show, it's not gonna happen. And to your point, I'm not gonna take any offense to it.
Absolutely.
I don't know you like that.
Absolutely.
I don't think. I might think you're cute. I might think you're attractive. I might be like, I'm entertained.
I might have vibed.
Yeah, I might have liked what you were, how you look online or something like that. And I'm just like, I'm like, yo, let's see it. Like I'm not doing much. Let's go out to eat. Let's see if we vibe off with each other, right? But like the fact that you don't like me, this is to your point about just because I like you, you don't have to like me back.
Yeah.
Like if you don't reciprocate that energy, I'm not offended by it.
Absolutely.
I don't get offended by it at all. It's cool. Like you didn't do anything wrong. I'm not gonna talk down on you. I'm not gonna, because the male ego is fragile.
Oh, the male ego fragile as hell.
And dudes be out here like,
I've seen it.
And dudes be out here like, nah, you're just being a bitch, blah, blah, blah. Nah, homie, she is not obligated to like you in the slightest.
No one's ever obligated to give you the time of day. No one's obligated to, no one owes you anything. You are not entitled to nobody's time. Yeah. You're not entitled to anybody's likings or opinions or whatever. That's happened to me actually. And it's interesting enough that like for instance, maybe I was talking to somebody and we were talking for a while. And then I specifically was like, yo, like I'm not feeling it, whatever, right? And then we kind of stopped talking. Then because like, for instance, Instagram is an interesting thing. Like I sometimes I'm still friends with a lot of the people online. Like I follow each other. And so sometimes they'll post shit and I'll be like, damn, whatever. And if they don't reciprocate the energy back, even if maybe I'm trying to restart something or whatever, I take no offense to that. Because at the end of the day, first of all, there was no clear like initiative on both ends to make this make this into something that it wasn't. You know, and
there's no need for you to blow it up in your mind. Like, oh, this is something I'm so excited about it, blah, blah.
Exactly,
like, nah, bro,
exactly.
There's no reason to do that.
Like whenever I don't get the reciprocation that I would want, or like the same energy that I would want, I just think back to the fact that it's like, look, at the end of the day, that's fine. Like it's not a big deal. And also I've come to a very, very interesting realization that I don't know if you have seen this happen, but knowing that I don't want a relationship, knowing that I'm not interested in taking the time and the actual initiative to give somebody my time of day, I'm not entertaining people like that either. Like I'm not stringing people along being like, yeah, let's keep going, let's keep doing the stuff, and then going under the false pretense that we might make something out of this when I know I don't want anything out of this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not also trying to do that. Yeah. Like I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck when people do that. I don't like when people just
string you along.
Not even me, because I don't get.
Just in general.
Just in general, when people do it to other people, because I'm just like, bro, if you don't like this person, say it. Don't be telling them that you do. Don't pretend like you do.
This is why on one of those first episodes that we did when we talked about ghosting, I don't know if you were there.
I think I might have been there, yeah.
Maybe you were. We were talking about ghosting and like the spectrum of ghosting or whatever in one of the previous episodes. And I think I mentioned something like ghosting is really weird because I don't actually get offended by ghosting.
Yeah.
And people really do. People are like, well, you ghosted me. And I'm like, I feel like that term should be specifically made for people that actually know each other. If you don't know each other,
I don't know you. I don't know you.
And we're just talking, and all of a sudden we just not. If I stop texting or you stop texting, like I don't consider that ghosting.
That's just.
But like if me and you are best friends, and all of a sudden I don't hear from you, and I text you, nothing. Okay, now you're ghosting me. That's That's a different thing, right?
Yeah, it's a different context too. It's just very different.
But it goes
situation.
A different question. You and your man's just broke up. Is there a world? Okay, I'll not even put you in this situation. Can somebody's friend date an ex?
To me personally, I think you're a bum asshole if you're trying to go for my ex. Let me tell you why. Because there's the thing. If you were my friend, you know some sort of context about my ex.
Yeah, because y'all talk, y'all gossip. We already established.
We've already established what we done the things and all the things and whatever. You know what I mean? Like we've gone through the talks of what it is. And if you aren't, I have a thing with loyalty, dude. Like I have a very strong. I don't know if it's back to the thing where like I don't know if it's Hispanic thing. Or like you said, a cultural thing or what it is, but I have a very big thing with loyalty.
So in that case, it's your friend that's not being loyal?
Yeah, because my ex doesn't owe me anything.
Right.
My ex as my ex does not owe me anything.
So there's no situation where that would be acceptable?
No.
At all?
No.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit because I actually can't conceive of a situation or many situations where that's acceptable. To me, that question revolves around timing and execution. That's where that conversation. So, like example, I'm dating somebody. It's not working out. I'm gonna break up with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Or with that girl, I break up with her. If very soon after that point, I found out that y'all are fucking around or that y'all are seeing each other, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be extremely pissed. Not at the girl.
The guy.
Because the girl doesn't owe me anything.
Again, yeah.
Right? I'm mad at the guy, at my friend. Because you owed me a certain level of decency and respect. There's a responsibility that we have to our friendship.
Yeah.
That we should be open about these kinds of things. Because my friend should know me.
Yeah.
And he should also know that if he went up to me and said, hey, me and so-and-so have been talking, I've been really vibing with her, but I'm sorry, I don't know if this makes you feel uncomfortable, but like we've been thinking about going out and seeing each other. The fact that you told me before any of that happens tells me a couple things. One, you value my friendship.
Yeah.
Two, you know my history. So you don't want to like cross any boundaries. But three, it also establishes the fact that you're telling me this out of respect.
Yeah.
And that you're still going to proceed towards a certain, like you've already made the decision as a person, as a man, like you've already made the decision and you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I commend that.
Yeah.
If you do it and I don't know about it, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to know all the details.
Yeah.
You just have to respect our friendship and say like, because at the end of the day, I broke up with her.
Yeah.
And I broke up with her for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be with that person. I don't want to be with her at all. Yeah. I don't want to have I'm not emotionally tied to that person at all. That person can do whatever they want. Right? But I am tied to my friend. I am tied to my friend on a relationship level, on a friendship level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you owe me something. If because who knows? It didn't work out with me because my personality and her personality didn't mix or for whatever reasons. Yeah. But it might work out with you guys. You're two completely different people, different things. Now, it might end up being, if you're a close friend, it might end up being awkward because now you as a man have to know that like if you bring her around, if we're friends, if we're really good friends, right, and we're always around each other, and y'all end up actually living a life like getting closer and it ends up working out, you're gonna have to know that I was with your girl.
Yeah.
You know, and that might make you feel some type of way. You'd have to be a really big, like a very secure person
to keep the friendship and keep the relationship.
To be able to keep the friendship and not have the
lingering thoughts.
Because you can say it. If you're mature, it shouldn't be a problem. If you're mature, it shouldn't be a problem. You can be around your girl and know that your girl was with a friend of yours at one point, and understand whatever relationship and trust that, and it's not a big deal. Like as a mature person, right? I can see that, but in theory and in practice are two very different things. You know what I mean?
So like, a man's ego, man.
So like you would have to like really, really work on that, right? But in theory, I don't know. I don't think that that's a possibility that can't happen. I wouldn't be mad at that. Also, that's the execution part. Timing is a big deal. I can conceive of, I broke up with her, and then like a year and a half later, y'all ended up rekindling.
So
okay, now a lot of things have happened. You saw her, like it doesn't matter if you saw her by chance encounter, like somewhere at the store or whatever, or you were at a bar one night and she was there and y'all vibed off or whatever, blah blah blah. Like I can see how that's possible. And the only reason that I think timing is a big part of it, and like very close to the beginning of the, like soon after the breakup is not okay, is because every time you're in a relationship that really means something, if you get out of that relationship, you're going to have to go through the grieving process.
Of course.
You just have to.
Yeah.
You can't not go through the grieving process. So if you haven't in some way, shape or form gone through the grieving process, then you're not emotionally equipped to make that kind of decision.
Yeah.
That's why whenever people jump from person to person, I'm like, you bugging.
Yeah.
You bugging because, or else you actually weren't with that person. Y'all were just fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were actually in a relationship and y'all were valued each other's time and you were investing, maybe you weren't thinking super long term, but in the moment, I'm like, no, I'm investing time in my like memories and I told you stories. I told you things that I don't usually tell people. You know, I told you found out things about me. We can't, you know what I mean? All that jazz, right?
Facts.
All of those things. There's gonna be a grieving process for it. And I say this only because there's been plenty of women that I've broken up with that even after we broke up, I knew that I didn't want to have anything to do with them. I knew it. I knew that I didn't want to be with them. But I also knew that I was not going to get into another relationship so quickly because I still had it, because just because I knew it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
That I didn't spend all that time or all that energy or
the
those memories
stuff,
or like, you know what I mean? Or potentially losing our friendship or whatever. Like it's still going to be a thing to have to process. So that's why timing is very important, because if I see the girl end up being with my friend really short after
it'd be
we
like,
broke
well,
up,
fuck me then.
yes, because then it's on both parts. It's all like, okay, so then our relationship really didn't mean that much to you, despite the fact that it might have been me that ended it or whatever, right? So but I can see how like a year later or sometime later, I can't put like an actual time frame on it, but like I can see how I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
So to me, because this is the thing, maybe I'm looking at it in the sense that like my ex is my baby daddy. So to me, I'm looking at it in like, if when we talk exes, it's a little hard for me to think hypothetically of like an ex that was like a just an ex, like somebody who just was in my life and stuff like that. Because to me having,
because you're thinking they might, if this ends up being working out, you're gonna be stepmom.
They're gonna be stepdaddy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So like to me, like for instance.
No. I'm saying like if your friends end up going with your ex, and even regardless of how many time, if it ends up working out, then your friend ends up being your daughter's stepmom.
And to me again, it goes back to like it's a little different because like for instance for myself, one, I don't. That's why I'm not trying to be in any sort of committed relationship, because even when I think about it, like in your instance where like you've had multiple different relationships where maybe they lasted a year, maybe they lasted, 2 years or anything like that.
I haven't been in a relationship that's lasted a year since high school.
Yeah. So like, but I've seen all your girlfriends. But I've seen all your girlfriends and I've met them and all these things. But to me, I can't fathom the idea of even doing something like that because I have a child. Mm-hmm. Because I'm thinking of my life in the sense that I'm like, bro, at any point in time, we gotta like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not thinking of my next significant other, like the one that I want to actually be significant other with, is as somebody who's just going to be a passerby. It's somebody that I've actually taken my time and dedicated my time to.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Circumstances do change.
But and then now, like if I think about my ex, for instance, it's like my ex doesn't owe me much, but they kind of do because of how long we were together. And in the sense, it's like because my ex might have fucked around with somebody soon after, it might, like, depending on who it is, like if I know this person, even if it's not a friend, sometimes like if I know this person, it's like, gee, like, bruh, like I might have left or I might have broken up with you because I would no longer felt those things for you, like you said. The grieving part was still a thing, because I let go of somebody that was close to my heart, and to see them not care is to see them not have that respect for me. Yeah. Even though they claim to have it, you know what I mean? Or just, again, I have a very big thing with loyalty. So like it's very much loyalty on both ends. So to me,
it's so weird. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people think that loyalty is like that kind of.
To me, it's very much like the idea of loyalty, and I might be very like black and white about this, and there's a lot of things I'm not a black and white about, but loyalty, even to because for my friends, for instance, I would never do that to a friend. Like I would, and
I think that's where it ultimately stems from, right? I would never do it to you.
I would never do it to you, so don't do it to me.